LASIK makes healthy eyes sick.
Lifetime disability with no informed consent. Don't do LASIK.
I know that I look crazy and it's so embarrassing to come crying on the internet. This stuff that I have been dealing with for 2 years because of my freaking...
Now I'm permanently disabled for the rest of my life and in chronic pain.
My eyes had no issues before, except that I needed glasses and contacts to see.
As someone who got LASIK 3 years ago, that is one of my biggest regrets in life.
My biggest regret in life ever is getting LASIK.
So as you all know, we've talked about UV lash techs as well as veneer techs, and those are all scams. Today, we're going to be talking about laser eye surgery, commonly known as LASIK. Now, like any other procedure that is done to you, there are side effects. Also common with medication you may take, we all experience side effects. However, when I heard the side effects that people were experiencing for LASIK surgery, I had to make a video. One of the two most common side effects are chronic pain as well as severe nerve damage. That is what we're going to be talking about today. We're also going to talk about a meteorologist who unfortunately took her own life due to the pain that she had been constantly experiencing after her eye surgery. So before I yap your ear off, we're going to dive into a lady explaining LASIK eye surgery.
But how does this happen? How does getting LASIK cause chronic eye pain? To understand that, let me explain to you how LASIK is performed. So you're basically creating a flap on the front part of the eye or the cornea, doing the laser, reshaping the surface so that you don't need to wear glasses, and then replacing that flap back on top. And usually this is a pretty straightforward procedure. That flap covers the laser area, heals up with minimal pain and scarring. However, in about 1 in 1,000 cases, there can be chronic eye pain. And that is because the cornea actually has a lot of nerve endings in it. And once in a while, those nerves just don't heal as they should, resulting in chronic irritation and pain. This is probably the reason why a lot of patients experience dry eye after LASIK, and unfortunately some people do have more severe pain like this original creator. Again, this is super rare. There are certain risk factors, so definitely talk to your doctor before getting any procedure done.
As she was talking, I couldn't help but dwell in her saying it is a straightforward procedure. And although it may be one of the most straightforward procedures, under that same breath, the eye is probably one of the most complex parts of your body. And once you mess up your eye, there is no going back. I cannot begin to tell you how important your vision is, but I think using common sense, you guys have a greater understanding of how important your vision may be to you. With that being said, I am no doctor, I am no healthcare provider, but I will say there's certain things in life that I just would personally not do. Now, before we get any further with LASIK eye surgery, we're gonna take a pause and look into the story of Winter Blanco, who got her veneers botched. This does link up with LASIK eye surgery, so let's take a look.
I know that I look crazy and it's so embarrassing to come crying on the internet, but this stuff that I have been dealing with for 2 years because of my freaking teeth is like, I don't even know what to do anymore. And like the only place I can really go to is my platforms. As everybody pretty much knows, 2 years ago, I had dental work done at Smile Dental Center 32 in Miami, and it ruined my life. Like literally ruined my life. And I'm still dealing with it to this day. And I just left another doctor, another TMJ doctor. This is the 3rd or 4th one that I've gone to. And I'm just very overwhelmed. Like, the medical industry, the dental industry in America is like, they literally do not care about what you are going through. Like, everything is about money for them. And like, I understand, like, people have to get paid, but it's like, the fact that like, I can't do anything. Like, I can't use insurance. I can't do anything. I've already spent $80,000 pretty much on this whole situation in 2 years. And I go to another TMJ doctor because I have severe TMJ now because of the veneers that Smile Dental Center did. They lost my bite. I have severe TMJ. I got my teeth redone. It didn't fix it. That was another $30,000. It's just like, I just had an appointment and like, you know, they're telling me like, okay, we can do this, and it, you know, it could be a big money pit, and you know, it could be, you know, another 80K, and you know, it might not work. Like, I've spent so much money with so many doctors, just praying that something works for me. And nothing works. Nothing ever works. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I can't even sue the freaking dentist. Every time I come on here telling my story about what happened, which is a crazy ass story. And like, just sue. Why don't you sue? If I could sue, that would be the first thing I'm doing. But I can't do that. I can't do that. It's not possible. Like, can't sue for my sensory issues. My sensory issues are unknown. Every time I go to a doctor, they've never heard of it. And you can't prove that they gave you these issues because there's no way to diagnose it specifically. Like, it's just a whole thing. They offered to give me my money back within the first year, and I told them no, so that I could bring awareness, because like, people are just like, you know, out there getting veneers and whatever the case may be. Like, my life is literally ruined because I got my teeth redone. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm constantly in pain. I can't even close my mouth properly. I have to wear a retainer every single day, 24/7 pretty much, to even close my mouth comfortably. No bite adjustments can fix it. Nothing. I've done 100 bite adjustments. I've gone to 10 different dentists, 4 different TMJ doctors. I've done integrative medicine. I've done acupuncture. I've done everything you could possibly. I've done hypnosis. I've literally done everything you could possibly do to try to fix these issues. I've been called crazy by my primary care doctor at Kaiser. They told me to see a therapist because I'm what I'm going through. At this point, like, I just don't know what to do. I'm in severe pain. I've gotten freaking masseter Botox twice. My fucking face is slimmed the fuck out. Like, I look crazy as fuck because I'm in pain 24/7. It's just, I guess my only thing is just don't get fucking veneers and know that, like, something like this can ruin your life, like, literally. And quite frankly, I'm not giving nobody else 80 fucking bands. Like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, the fact that these people are so, like, just everything is so money driven, and like, I understand, but it's like, this shit is like really medical for me. Like, why does nobody care about people in chronic pain without you having to fucking spend 80 bands twice? Like, that's crazy as fuck to me.
So why did I show you guys this? It lines up with the rest of the stories that you guys are going to be hearing, which is chronic pain. Now, I cannot describe chronic pain, but I have been in quite a lot of pain in my life. One in particular that has sent me to the ER. However, it could never compare, in my opinion, to chronic pain. Unless you've experienced chronic pain, I don't think anyone could ever understand it or fully comprehend it. If you are somebody that is experiencing chronic pain, I feel like you are the only person that can explain what chronic pain is to you. And it differs from person to person, but in all things, it is extremely uncomfortable. We're gonna get into a story of a guy that had LASIK eye surgery, and I just want you guys to listen to how similar it is with other surgeries that are performed. And although I understand why people choose veneers as well as UV lash techs and LASIK eye surgery, honestly, the risk that comes with this, and Ozempic, that's another one we covered. The risks that come with everything that I just listed and more, such as BBLs, basement braces, the list goes on and on. Whether done by a professional or whether done by a tech, please make sure you sit down and do the research constantly before you ever go under the knife with anything that involves your body. Let's get into the story before I yap your ear off again.
I feel like this video is long overdue, but I'm coming up on a year post-op. For those that don't know, my name's Hayden. I'm 22. I had laser eye surgery about a year ago. I was 21 at the time. And yeah, here's my LASIK story. I had LASIK surgery on May 12th, 2023 at Horizon Eye Care with Dr. Hunter Stoldorf. I was the ideal candidate in my consultation. He said that I was the perfect person for the surgery. I could have whatever procedure I wanted. I was young, I was healthy, my corneas looked good, no signs of dry eye. So I trusted him and asked some questions. I asked about the complications, and he listed 3. Which of course I later found out to be way more. And he said that they were very rare, less than 1%. He's only ever had one person come back and he corrected the issue, is what he said. So I went ahead and I booked the LASIK surgery, this life-changing, marvelous procedure. And I go in for the surgery. My partner drives me. I get there. I am given a Valium. They dilate my eyes. I look at a consent form. And I read over the consent form. Anyways, yeah, so I have the surgery. Everything goes great. They did the surgery perfectly, correctly. And I go home. I sleep. I wake up and I can pretty much see. I was like over the moon. I was excited. And 2 months goes by, and yes, I'm using all my drops and my medicines and my sleep goggles, and I'm taking care of my eyes. They're my eyes. So before someone says that, oh, you must not have followed the post-op instructions. Nope, not the case. But I went in for my 2-month post-op, and just for context, all of these appointments I'm going to talk about, I brought my sister, my mother, and my partner. And I recorded most of them, so I'm not afraid that they're gonna. I can prove all of this with my records. I mean, I'm not afraid. So, yeah, I was complaining of constant burning eye pain, and the visual side effects that were temporary were still not going away. I was struggling to watch TV or play any games because I just couldn't see it. And the entire time, it just felt like my surgeon and the nurse and everybody who walked in the room just was gaslighting me and telling me that, you know, you were gonna heal, like, we're really optimistic that you're gonna love your results, everything looks good, keep using your artificial tears, your brain will learn to adjust and look past your night vision issues. Went in for another appointment a month later, still complaining of the same things, and my surgeon tells me that my pupils are very large, like very large, and he hands me a bottle of bromonidine, which is a pupil shrinking agent. Well, that's like a side effect of it. It's actually a glaucoma medication with preservatives in it, so it's not safe. But he hands me that and tells me that, here, this will help shrink your pupil and it will help you with your issues while your brain learns to look past it and adjust. It's not a permanent fix at all. And he goes on to explain how my pupils are dilating past the optical zone that he put in my eye, which I already knew at this point. I mean, I've been doing so much research, learning way too much about LASIK and the industry and everything, and I would continue to keep researching, so I wouldn't be gaslit. And so we leave that appointment with the bromonidine, and you know, I mean, just months and months go by, and I'm still in pain. I still can't see. I developed floaters 4 months post-op. Just, I mean, feeling like it was the worst mistake of my life. I sunk into a deep, dark depression, was suicidal, and just, I mean, in and out of the hospital for pain, therapy, specially made eye drops, driving across states to go see eye doctors. I mean, I had seen probably 20 doctors at this point, all of the unaffiliated with LASIK ones, completely just refuted what my surgeon and my clinic had told me. Pupil size, there was an abundance of evidence to suggest that pupil size matters. And also, why would my surgeon give me that if pupil size didn't matter? As for the floaters, my surgeon denied that the surgery caused them. He said that we're only operating on the cornea. There's no way they were caused by LASIK. You know, you just couldn't see them. Your vision's so good now, you just couldn't see them, which is complete crap. Floaters are moving around in the back of the eye in what's called the vitreous, and you can wear glasses or contacts and see them if you have them. So that was a lie. Pupil size was a lie. And you know, I go on this long journey of doctor after doctor, medication, drops, supplements, acupuncture. I mean, everything you can think of, I've tried it. Amniotic membrane contact lenses, which, yes, are made with placenta. And I'm still in pain. I have my whole life ahead of me, and it's crazy because I hired a lawyer, which I'll talk about openly now because they dropped my case. And, you know, after months of collecting my records and me sending them all the research I've researched, I mean, literally thousands of files on my computer, a binder full of evidence. I mean, I've spoken with doctors who now disapprove of the surgery, who were on the panel to approve it. And it's just wild to me that they found another LASIK surgeon to testify that everything my LASIK surgeon said was true, and that pupil size didn't matter when my literal surgeon gave me a pupil shrinking eye drop to fix my problems. So why would he do the surgery if my pupils were too large to begin with? Another LASIK surgeon to testify that floaters weren't caused by the surgery. I just couldn't see them. I'm so hyper-fixated on them now because my vision is just so good, which, by the way, I literally can't see at night. And for the chronic pain, the other LASIK surgeon that they found to testify said, quote, "Chronic pain and nerve damage is an unfortunate but known complication of laser eye surgery." So all of these surgeons will or have, they will mess up someone's life. They will destroy someone's vision for money. It's insane that people can see videos of just data and evidence and non-biased sources suggesting that the LASIK industry is not what it seems and how they've been manipulating data and lying. And I mean, the literal FDA has had to step in and write a draft guidance because clinics fail to provide informed consent. So it's just wild. So yeah, Horizon Eye Care in North Carolina, Dr. Hunter Stoldorf, you messed up my eyes. And I hope you see this.
I honestly feel as if I were to even say this was a horrifying experience, that would honestly be disrespectful because this is worse than a horrific experience. It is a shame that he's getting swept under the rug among a lot of other people that are experiencing this. Their cases are being closed. Lawyers are not even interested. I don't know. Something's in the air and I'm trying to figure it out. Before we get into Jessica Starr's case, it is important to know, and I'm saying this because I have seen a ton of comments under Hayden's video of people saying, well, I got LASIK eye surgery and it worked for me. There's so many people that said that. Well, guess what? A lot of other people are saying otherwise. And just because you had a successful LASIK eye surgery does not mean other people did as well. Let's move on to Jessica Starr, who unfortunately took her own life after experiencing chronic pain with her eye surgery. Let's take a look.
I'm still using drops. These things, these tears, artificial tears, probably about every 5 minutes.
These are video diaries from Jess Starr, a popular Detroit meteorologist, wife, and mother of 2 young children, just a few weeks after undergoing corrective laser eye surgery in October of last year.
I want to just get back to my normal life, and right now I'm not living my normal life.
Over the course of 2 months, Starr recorded these video diaries detailing complications she says she was experiencing from a procedure called SMILE, shown in this video from Zeiss, which is the company that created the surgery. A laser makes a very small opening on the eye to remove a layer of tissue within the cornea to change its shape and correct nearsightedness. The FDA approved it in 2016 and says it's less invasive than the popular LASIK surgery. Jess's family said she'd considered laser eye surgery for several years, and her doctor told her she was a good candidate for SMILE.
I'm really mad at myself for doing this. I don't know why. I was fine in contacts. Glasses weren't that big of a deal. It was fine.
But just 2 months after her surgery, she took her own life. She had a hard time doing her job and had to take time off from work. They say they noticed a change in her demeanor and appearance.
Lost like 25, 26 pounds, and I kept saying, "Are you eating? Are you okay?" And she said, "I'm not eating and I'm not sleeping, Mom. This is worrying me."
I was taking the kids to the movies by myself, in the sense of she started to withdraw from
The American Academy of Ophthalmology says studies show the procedure is safe and effective and complications are very rare. The Academy says those complications can include glare and halos, particularly at night, and under or over-corrected vision. For Jess, she contacted her surgeon and saw multiple eye doctors to get their opinion. Looking back, the family realizing she'd become depressed.
Before the surgery, everything was okay. There were no signs of any sort of distress, emotional, mental, physical. Work was good. Life at home was good.
Absolutely.
The American Society of Cataract and Refractive Surgery tells us, as with all types of surgery, there is a healing process and the need for post-surgical care, which typically lasts from a few days to several weeks, but in some patients it may take longer. They add clinical data on SMILE shows sight-compromising complications are extremely rare at less than 1%. As for Jess's family, they are working through this tragedy the only way that they know how.
When Winter Blanco got on here yesterday crying about her veneers, I instantly thought about this story. And I don't know, like, when I was listening to her and, like, watching her cry, I genuinely felt so bad for her. Like, I cannot imagine. Me, personally, I only drink through straws because if I drink through a cup or a can, the coldness of the liquid just sends chills down my spine. I hate it. So her describing her sensory issue, I just cannot imagine how insane she is going, and she's almost $100,000 down the drain trying to correct this issue, and she has received no satisfaction or no ease of the pain that she's going through. And I see a lot of people like giving her backlash and saying, oh, well, you should have never got it, you should have never got it. I'm sure she knows that. Like, I'm sure if she could rewind the hands of time, she would have never stepped a foot in whatever office she went to get those veneers. And this isn't a situation where, oh, you got a bad hairstyle, so, like, just take it out. Or, oh, even if you got a bad BBL, like, sometimes you can go and fix that. This is a sensory issue, and nothing that she's tried is helping. It's, like, almost her fate. Like, she's got to deal with this for the rest of her life. So to get up here in the pain and discomfort that you're in, and then the whole world, like, basically telling you, oh, you should never did it, and, like, basically saying, oh, well, like, laughing at you, is insane. Like, I genuinely cannot imagine the pain she going through, and then on top of that, people basically like laughing at you and saying, oh, well, you should never did it. God just be with her for real, because I can only imagine the situation that she's in with this pain and how dark her thoughts can become real quick dealing with it when it seems like you're not receiving no help.
You know, bullying and telling somebody that, oh, you shouldn't have gotten that, it's spilt milk. What is more important is spreading awareness for the next person, warning the next person and letting them know you should not get this procedure done. You should not get the surgery done. It is not worth it. First point I've taken from these two clips is if a doctor looks you straight in the eyes and says you are a great candidate, get out that door, because this is the second time I'm hearing this. And if you go on TikTok, you'll find out that it is a very common phrase that doctors will use. And yeah, it's starting to be my own red flag. So that's one. Secondly is stick to the traditionals. Wear glasses, wear contact lenses. I personally would not wear contact lenses, but do that. Look at the doctor that is performing the surgery for you. Do they have that surgery? If they are wearing glasses, why haven't they had that surgery? If all the doctors are wearing glasses, however, they're telling you that this eye surgery is best and you're the great candidate, yeah, you need to make a smart decision when it comes to that. When it comes to veneers, just stick to braces. I don't care if people say you're an adult with braces. Look, you can afford it now. Do that. Will it take longer? Yes, but the chances of you being in chronic pain are few. Once again, bullying will not change anything. The person has already gotten done. They are already botched. Instead, spread awareness. I will not tell you what you should and shouldn't do. However, this entire video is evidence of where I stand when it comes to LASIK eye surgery. With that being said, if you are somebody that is considering eye surgery, take a look at this lady.
If you are thinking about getting LASIK, then listen up because this is important. The FTC has fined LASIK Plus $1.25 million for its deceptive bait and switch advertising. What they did was they advertised LASIK for a price of as low as $300 to lure people in the door. And once they were there, they basically said, oops, sorry, you don't actually qualify for that. When in fact, almost no one ever qualifies for the $300 LASIK. Patients were then quoted between $1,800 and $2,295 per eye, which to be honest is pretty much an industry standard for surgery. The complaint alleges that the company even went as low as $250 for surgery and then didn't tell you the real cost until after you'd spent considerable time and effort going through your consultation. In addition, they even failed to disclose the eligibility requirements that would make you eligible to receive this $250 promotion that, to be honest, really didn't exist. A 2021 report in clinical ophthalmology found that the average price of LASIK actually ran $26.32 per eye, making the average cost of LASIK for both eyes $5,264. Places that are able to advertise LASIK for very, very cheap might be using older technology. We no longer use a microkeratome or a blade during surgery. There are still places that will use older technology to offer cheaper prices. This poses a significant risk to your vision and potentially can result in poorer outcomes. If you're unsure who to go to, ask your optometrist. We are familiar with all the surgeons in the area and can definitely point you in the right direction. I don't have to tell you how deceptive this is.
So yeah, all in all, do the research and don't be quick to make a decision based on the cost of a surgery, especially when it comes to your eyes. A $250 surgery, a $300 surgery for your eye, too good to be true. And if they're already messing up in the beginning with being deceptive in their ads, then that should be a red flag. It is not a carnival of fun. It is a carnival of disaster, and it will cost you your vision. Now that we've covered most of the bases of LASIK eye surgery, as well as horrific experiences, there I go using that word again, we're going to jump into other people's stories when it comes to LASIK eye surgery. Let's take a look.
My eyes had no issues before, except that I needed glasses and contacts to see. Now I can't see correctly with glasses or contacts. Scleral lenses don't work for me. I have chronic pain.
One of the things that I am most grateful for that I've learned on TikTok is the impact of LASIK eye surgery. As someone who is a glasses girly, these are my glasses. These are how thick they are. I don't even know if you can see exactly. You could probably see. These are my glasses. I've been wearing glasses and contacts since the first grade. I have contemplated on getting LASIK eye surgery like just in recent years. And when I tell you that the very first TikTok that I saw that said, I'm in chronic pain, baby, the only thing I have done since then is look for new glasses. What different styles can I get? Like, what do I want to try? To me, I am not going to risk it. I know people that have gotten it. I've seen the success stories. All of that is great. But I'm sorry. I only had to see one video. Years and years ago, I saw some videos. I'm like, yep, done. Like LASIK is literally not even a thing in my head. Like, even whenever I go to the eye doctor, interested in it. Nope. Moving on. When does my glasses and my contacts, when do my benefits renew this year? Which one am I going to buy? That's the only question you should be asked. Whoever said that the eye doctors that promote LASIK always have glasses, you ate with that, because it's true. I don't know one doctor, one eye doctor on this earth that has gotten LASIK. And again, you ain't got to tell me more than once, baby. Immediately no. I will be a glasses girly until the day that I die.
Well, I decided when I was 21 I didn't want to put up with glasses or contacts anymore. I got laser eye surgery. I actually felt part of the laser go in my eyeball, and it severed my nerves, and now I'm permanently disabled for the rest of my life and in chronic pain.
I just want to say my biggest regret in life ever is getting LASIK, because now I have to deal with the side effects of it, which are excruciatingly dry eyes. Like, I can barely keep my eye open. I've had to deal with it like all day today, putting eye drops in it. It's super sensitive to light. Like, I can barely keep it open. It's teary. It hurts. I feel like there's sandpaper in my eye because it's that fucking dry, because now I have chronically dry eyes because of LASIK. Like, I would rather wear glasses for the rest of my life than have to deal with this ever again. Like,
get ready with me while I tell you why you should not get LASIK. As someone who got LASIK 3 years ago, that is one of my biggest regrets in life. So I went to my LASIK consultation. They told me I was a good LASIK candidate. So the day before the surgery, it's a cold, windy day, and I go in to get my eye tested, and they tell me that my corneas are looking a little thin that day. They tell me this can happen with cold weather, and I don't think much of it, and she said we'll test again right before surgery just to make sure your eyes are okay. The day of my surgery, they test my eyes, and what do you know? My corneas are looking nice and plump, and sure enough, it was just the weather, and doctor agreed everything is good to go for LASIK, so we proceed. So a little backstory, I was a candidate for PRK and for LASIK. I could have gotten either. PRK, if you don't know, it's a longer recovery. Same results, cheaper in price, but again, longer recovery. So I didn't want to go that route. The surgeon that I went to was in Pensacola, Florida, which is where I used to live. And he had been doing LASIK since LASIK came out. And great reviews, really nice doctor. Like, I didn't have any issues with him. So it's the day of my surgery. My eyes look good. I go ahead and I get my surgery done, which if you've ever had LASIK, then you know it is just really uncomfortable. You're awake the whole time. It maybe takes like 2 minutes to do both eyes, 2 to 3 minutes. You can smell like the burning of your eye, and it's really just kind of not a good time. So I get home and you can't see. It feels like someone literally took sand with your eyes open and rubbed sand on your eyes. Like, it was not a fun experience. So they basically tell you when you get home, just go to bed for the entire night. And I was done, I think at like maybe 5 or something, and I just went home and I slept. So when I woke up the next morning, my eyes, still kind of felt like crap, but I could see a little bit, although I did kind of notice one eye was blurrier than the other. Expressed my concern with my doctor in my post-op visit. He was like, totally normal, this happens, no big deal. Let's, check you in like another month. A month goes by and my left eye, it's like perfectly crisp and clear, but my right eye is still blurry. I can see out of it, but it is just not as clear as my other eye. So my next appointment, they say, oh, this is normal. It can take up to a year for your eyes to heal. But as time goes by, my right eye, it never adjusts and it never gets better. So I end up moving back to Indiana shortly after my LASIK procedure, and I just kind of hope that my eyes get better. So after LASIK, I noticed that I see halos at night when I drive, and it makes driving at night extremely hard. So fast forward 3 years, I now have glasses to drive at night, which is great. On top of the halos, which is pretty common, I guess, with LASIK from other people I've talked to, I also have extremely dry eyes. Like, my eyes, especially in the winter, they feel like just... And I am not someone who has ever had dry eyes in my entire life. And if you didn't know, when you get LASIK, you have up to a year to do a corrective procedure if needed at no extra cost to you. So it'd be free of charge. So you bet your butt I was trying to go back to Florida to get that free corrective procedure to fix my eye that didn't heal and was still blurry. I scheduled an entire trip to get this taken care of, to get this done. And whenever I arrived, they tested my eyes and they were like, ooh, this doesn't look good. And I'm like, uh-oh. So they get the doctor looks at it, and the doctor is like, yeah, your corneas have thinned a lot. And apparently my corneas thinned so much that I was no longer a candidate for a corrective LASIK procedure. So basically, I have to live with my eye that is blurry, or get glasses or contacts to fix it. So the icing on the cake is that I have to have my eyes tested every single year, because there's a 50-50 chance that I could possibly develop ectasia, which is basically where your corneas progressively thin. And if they thin too much and you don't treat it, you could go blind. I know so many people, including my sister, who have had LASIK and have had 0 complications. 0. But for me, I am like the less than 3% that had complications. So with every single surgery, you just have to understand the risks. If I could go back in time, there's no way in hell I would ever do LASIK again. The gift of sight is such a beautiful gift. So please, if you're considering it, just...
In one sentence, tell me why you wouldn't recommend LASIK.
LASIK makes healthy eyes sick.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
Because I've never had LASIK, but my dearest wife has had it for 20-some years, and it sucks. And she's had horrible complications.
I would not recommend LASIK because it's gamble. It's a crap shot. You don't know what you're going to end up with. So don't bargain the health of your eye.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
I have a brother who had LASIK, and he is suicidal, and also he wishes if they had a surgery that they could take his eyeballs out, they would take his eyeballs out because he's in so much pain every day.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK. Because I can never get my healthy eyes back. In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
LASIK inherently causes harm to healthy tissues that were perfectly fine in glasses or contacts.
I would not recommend LASIK because wearing contacts and glasses is way better than living with burning eye sensation pain every single day after LASIK.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
Easy. Lifetime disability with no informed consent. Don't do LASIK.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK surgery.
Because of all the people that are living life in agony and in pain from a procedure that was supposed to help them.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Botched. I don't recommend LASIK because of the life-altering complications that are unanticipated that could take place.
In one sentence, tell me why you would not recommend LASIK.
LASIK makes healthy eyes sick.
And there you have it. Those were all the stories as well as reasons why you should not get into LASIK eye surgery. If you want to hear success stories, go ahead and go on social media and learn about these success stories. That is not what I am bringing on this video, just because these cases are severe. And when it comes to your eye, as well as anything else in your body, it is not something to play with. Please do the necessary research if you are interested in any surgery. Thoroughly investigate and make sure that you ask your doctors all the questions in the world, even if you annoy them. Make sure you have all the information, all the answers to your questions in line before you go under a blade. If you guys like this video, please make sure that you like, subscribe, as well as leave your comments down below on what you feel about eye surgery. If you do have a success story, I would like to hear it still. If you have a botched surgery, I would like to hear that one as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one.